So you ventured into the realms of film camera, and now you're deciding how to shoot film. Um, I think it is a really interesting, what is it, process, and I don't think you should limit yourself to either a rangefinder or a SLR. But in this video, I will be telling you why I picked a rangefinder over an SLR. So it's been over 2 years since I got my first film camera, and the excitement of shooting and developing film were just something new to me. So I decided to, hey, let's go to a local vintage shops today and see what cameras they have. I was just in the same shoes as you. I was like, hey, let's see. I really want to start film photography for some specific reason, but I'm not quite sure how to. This is how I got into film photography. I just went to a local vintage shop somewhere during my college days, and I bought a fully working camera, which I was surprised that it even worked. So I got a SLR, which was the Ricoh XRP, and it looked like this. It was a fully automatic 35 millimeter camera, even though it has like those dials on it. I don't think it was too great because it was stopped working in the code because it was just all automatic. Yeah, so I decided to then go and buy my first rangefinder camera, which was the Leica 2D. And after shooting that with that camera for a while, I didn't feel the joy anymore. So I was like, hey, you know what? I'll buy this camera right here, the Canon 7. And not that much later, I bought this, what is it? This lens with it. And yeah, now I use it as my daily driver, and it's been an amazing camera since. Let's get a little bit about SLRs. I have nothing against SLRs, they're amazing, and I believe that they make the best beginner friendly film cameras. When I first started shooting out film, I didn't know if, what is it, black and white film or color film will go through the same processes. And yeah, I actually sent my first roll to Walmart, and they totally botched it because guess what? It was a black and white film. So yeah, so after that, I just decided to say, hey, you know what? Let me take a film photography class. So I took a film photography class and decided to just shoot film for a couple of years and get used to it. But then, yeah, I decided to go with a rangefinder instead of an SLR. A little bit about why SLRs are beginner friendly cameras. So when you shoot with an SLR, it's a totally different experience from shooting a rangefinder. Shooting on the SLRs means that like you can see what the lens is projecting in front of you. So when you look into the viewfinder, you see exactly what the lens sees. But with the rangefinder, it's kind of weird. You have this focusing mechanism where you have a ghost image in the middle, and you have to line those two up. And I'll put a video right here to show you how that works. Um, and yeah, it's just different. You don't really see what you're taking a photo of, and yeah, sometimes it's not aligned, so you just gotta adjust it just a little bit to make it yeah, line up with each other. But yeah, I would say SLRs are pretty fun to shoot. Um, I took my first SLR camera and just went to the city of Minneapolis, and here are the photos of what I took. After getting them processed, I was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna shoot some more. So I decided to get an internship in Japan during my junior year, not junior, yeah, my junior year summer of college, and that's when I brought this beast with me. Okay, so a little backstory. When I first bought my Leica 2D, it was not calibrated. So after putting 2 rows through that film camera, I was like, hey, why are my photos blurry? Then after some extensive searching online, I was like, I'm pretty sure my rangefinder isn't calibrated. So I did the most kind of weird thing ever and took it apart. Um, and did that help? Yes. Is my rangefinder kind of effed up right now? Also, yes. So, kind of rule of thumb: do not mess with your cameras unless you know what to do with them. Um, Luckily enough, it still works, and yeah, I still use it to this day. But um, I think it can be definitely better than what it is right now. Here are some photos that I took with that camera right there. Now let's talk about lenses. What I recommend for everybody to start um, would be a 50 millimeter. Let's see, I have a f1.8, but you can have a f2 or f3.5 lens if they're smaller. I recommend these lenses because they're cheap. It's kind of like the kit lenses you get with your digital cameras today, where they just come on the camera. And yeah, I would say 90% of cameras you buy online, they'll have a 50 millimeter lens on them. Once you upgrade it, you can now shoot with a 80 millimeter or 35, depending on your type of photography. For me, I really like street photography, so I decided to buy a 35 millimeter lens, and yeah, I never looked back. But if you're more of a portrait photographer and you want that blurry background, or as we call it, bokeh, you buy a f1.8, or if you really look hard enough, you can find a f0.95, which is just too blurry for me. It's also very hard to focus. Mind you, film cameras do not have automatic systems in them, at least for some of them. Like I mentioned earlier, I had a fully automatic, but um, for the most part, I will say stick with the manual ones. You'll thank me later. Now, after shooting for a while, you may decide to either stick with the fully manual or go full automatic. Um, I decided to shoot some automatic film cameras, and it wasn't really my cup of tea. The best one that I had was the Nikon F80 or the Nikon F100, which produced amazing photos. But for such a big and hefty camera, I will say I have to pass on that and stick with my trusty rangefinders. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Let's talk about film.